To welcome in a White House reporter from the Wall Street Journal, Ken Thomas, who just penned an article on the president's plan to potentially dismantle the education department. Ken, thank you so much for your time on this. All right, so from your understanding, how would this potential dismantling work?
Yeah, good to be with you, Nichole. So they're looking at a two-step process here. White House officials are looking at an executive order that the president could sign that would involve, on one hand, acknowledging that it would be the role of Congress to outright abolish the Department of Education. But on the other, and the executive order would try to move in this direction, they would urge a number of steps to be taken to dismantle the agency from within. So essentially, they would find the places, the parts of the department that are not in statute, and they would seek to end those functions. And then they would try to, rearrange the way the department operates and move it in a position where it could eventually be abolished. So I think part of that would include a number of job cuts. We've already seen dozens of education department employees placed on administrative leave just in the last week. I think you're likely to see more of that. But then they would also try to, find ways where you could move parts and functions of the department into other places. One example, the student loan office, that's a big part of what the education department does. There has been talk in the past that could be moved into the Treasury Department. There has been discussions in past years where maybe you could move pieces of the department into the Health and Human Services Department or the Labor Department. So that's really how they're envisioning this. This is not a surprise. This is something that President Trump ran on. This was a part of Project 2025. So, and it's certainly something that, Republicans in the past have aimed for. So it's not surprising. It is going to be difficult, though. You have to keep in mind that, every Republican since Ronald Reagan has tried to do it have not been successful. And to get this through the Senate, it would take 60 votes. So you would certainly need a real bipartisan agreement among Senate Republicans and Democrats to eliminate this department.
Well, the fact that you said, there's been attempts before. I mean, this is a very big endeavor. So what would happen first? In reality, where would Americans actually see change first?
Well, I think you'd see changes in some of the functionality of the department. I think, you might see first and foremost, a number of staff members let go. I think they certainly want to reduce the size and scope of the department. And I think then you're going to start seeing the administration try to piece together the way you can sort of reconstruct some of these functions. So, like I said, moving the loan office into Treasury, perhaps. Some of the other things that they do that are very important, they provide resources for disabled students. They're involved in Title I schools for low-income communities and students. That they're also involved in. They have a civil rights division that's involved in Title IX enforcement. So you could certainly see those pieces put in other parts of the federal government as a way to continue the function, but just simply not have a Department of Education any longer.
All right, we will see if it happens. Ken Thomas from the Wall Street Journal, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.